Okay, everybody can see the screen.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes.
Yes.
today we'll start off with something like switch statements, right? So I'll start off with the statement. How does the statement look like first?
Sir, sir, I
Yes,
had a doubt. Sir, how to pass a complete array and then into a
I have
function
not
and
come to
then
the. I
turn
have
it
not
into.
come to that those parts. I
Sir,
have
now
not
you
come to those.
taught array, so that's why I
I
was.
taught arrays, but I have not basically taught arrays passing into functions. So that concept is totally little bit different. Okay,
Okay, sir.
I have not got into that. I'll come to those parts. No moment. Okay, the switch statement is goes something like this. Switch, which is the keyword. This is the expression, and then I have got case constant expression. Then I have got some statements.
Sir, what's the meanings of switch here?
I'll come to those parts. Just remember this is thing basically what it looks like. Okay, so over here switch is the keyword, case is the keyword, default is the keyword. Okay, so what I'll do is basically I'll take that same problem of counting characters. Okay, counting characters, that will actually help us. So let's see. So in ch, the input character which I'm going to take all my characters to get card away, right? Loop. This is the loop variable. The n whites, that is the counting of the number of whites. Then I'll be having n others, that is all the other symbols, and I'll be having my n digits. So I've got something like this. Okay. N white is equal to n other equals to 0. My initialization of my loop,
Sir,
yes.
sir, I have a question regarding assignments. Sir, I do not have any computer or any PC, so it is necessary to do the assignment with the help of computer. Can I do it on the paper with my hand?
Yeah, you can do it if you want.
Okay, sir.
But if you want to check it out, I have told you that there are basically. So if you've got even if you got a mobile with you, if you want, you can actually write your. Yes, it will be very much tedious. It will be very very tedious. But if you want, you can actually basically try to write small programs to actually check what is actually happening. Okay, for large programs, yes, that will be writing it will be very tedious to write on the online compiler and basically check it out. but at least I want you to check all these basic commands which we are actually working with. So you have a brief idea about of how the command works. That is very important. Okay, so after that you can actually make all those larger programs through your through a sheet of paper, and you can basically pass it as a picture. That is okay. But you must have a fair idea of how your program works and how all the commands works. For that you can use all your online compilers. So again, I'm saying that typing it on a small compiler on the screen will be tough, but then you don't, since you don't have any alternative, you have to find out some way out of it. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So for loop is equal to 0, loop loop less than 10, loop plus and digits equals to 0. So these line number 8 to 10 is basically just basically what you say, just by just initialization of this thing. Okay. So let's give a comment. Counting the so my statement goes something like this, that while remains as the same, something like that, right? So while ch equals to get cat is not equals to ef, so now I want to see, now you should know one thing, that this which we are actually seeing, the ch the expression part, this is actually, it is a simple variable which is not an array element. It cannot be an array element. It cannot be an array element, nor can it be a string. Right. So it can be either a simple integer, it can be either a float, or it can be a float is also not allowed, integer or character. Integer or character. So I am going to check my character ch. This is my ch. So based on this character, based on this symbol, based on the variable contents of the ch, I'm going to take certain decision. Now, switch is as good as basically an if then else if. It is the same thing. So what switch does and what if then else does is the same thing. Only if then else you can, if in that if then else you can, and else if, where you have got the expression, that expression can be also but you can work with the strings. I'll get into what strings are actually. Strings are simple, it's an array of characters, and you can work with the floats also. But whereas in this thing, you do not have this option. So ch can only be a character or integer, right? So I have got switches are very good, working with when you want to work with menu-driven programs, right? So if you have got a menu-driven program, a switch you can do all your stuff. So because in a menu-driven program you only take inputs like a single character or a single number. So that switch statements are very good for working with around those things. Okay, so I have got a case of a space, right? So CH, when I'm saying, so this statement is equivalent to saying that if CH equivalent to space, this statement is equivalent to saying something like that. Okay. So if CH is actually basically this thing, then what do I do? Then I have to increase my whites together, right? So my n white will be plus plus. And after each case, you must give a break. If you do not give a break, what will happen? I'll tell you. So let's take right now over here another case. So case so let's take for example /n. If this is a /n, then my others will actually basically another plus plus break. Okay, so if I do not give this break over here, so let's take something else. So case, so let's take for example, since this is a character which I'm going to take, so it will be all within a single quotes. In digits. So CH minus 0 plus plus break. And I have got something like default. And others plus plus. So let's see. Somewhere I had actually basically frequency of digits, right? This is something which is there. So just copy. Let's copy this part. Let's copy put it here. So this one will be in digits. This one will be in white. This I'm not giving anymore. Non-digit is basically another. So I believe I am there. No problem. Let's see what it does. Okay, let's see what it does first, and then we can. I'll tell you what my program works with. So GCC. So let's say I get a putcad. Okay, putcad ch, and then I'll work it out. So okay, so this is what I had actually basically given. See, let's study this thing and what is going to happen. See that. So let's check only line number 19 to line number 26, right? 19 to 26. I'm going to check. So what is happening? So this is, each one of them will be equal to. So if CH equivalent to, if CH equivalent to 0 or CH equivalent to, so like this statement is equivalent to something like this thing. If CH equivalent to 0 or CH equivalent to 1, and then the dot. So if any one of these cases is there, if any one of these cases actually arises, then these statements actually work out. Now, why is this break? If I do not give this break, what is going to happen is that immediately after line number 22, this statement will actually also work. That is line number 24. So break actually basically indicates that if you have considered, if you have, after one of the cases have been done, in whichever case you are working, then come out. That means it will be coming after line number 27. So in this case, when my CH is actually a space, after I have done something like this, then I'm going to give a break. If I do not give this break, then by default, this one will start working. So I'll give you a simple example. Say in whites, if I do not give this thing, let's say what happens. Let's say what happens. So I'm not giving any space. If I give 2 spaces, my another will actually increase by 2. So WE12 space, then 2, 3. See, my number of X, this one will be basically 2. This is 2, but I had given WE also, which is a non-character. So this is counted over here in default values, and but of this 2 also. Why? Because immediately after my line number 24, since there is no break, immediately it goes to this part, this line also. So even if it sees that it's a /n, it does not matter. So it will actually basically execute this part also. And after executing this part, this is going to come out. The default value means that whichever cases are not included over here, then I going to go for a default value. The default keyword you must give. If you are not doing anything in the default keyword, just you have. But after, and the default keyword has to be the last keyword. So after all your cases have been totally been completed or exhausted, then only you go for a default value. So the default means that any other keystrokes or any other characters which I have not basically considered for doing my cases for working with my case studies, those characters or those values, it will be considered in your default. Okay, so let's take for example in line number 22. If you, in case 0 there is no statements and there is no break, so immediately what is going to happen is that all these case studies will come one after the another. So line number 22, case 0, immediately since there is no break, then will come to case 1, then since there is no break, they will come to case 2, and so on and so forth till it comes to case 9. And then what it will do, it will basically check with ch minus 0. So ch is, as we had discussed last day, when I'm going to do this thing, what happens is that the ASCII code of ASCII code of whatever value of ch is there, minus 0 is there. It basically increase up. So for all these case 0 to 9, it will check each of these cases and then it will come over here. Now, since if it is not any character, any symbol, so it will check case 0, no, it will come to case 1, no, case 2, yes. Okay, case 2 is yes, but still will come to case 3, case 4, case 5, case 6, case 7, case 8, case 9, and then it will execute this thing. Okay.
Sir, if break is not given, the case in the next sentence will be executed whether or not its condition is true or not.
Come again.
If the break sentence is not given in the in some case, then the case in the next sentence will be executed whether or not it is true.
Yes.
Okay, sir.
Yes. Okay. So to actually not to go through all the cases, what you can do, what one can do is basically just include all your all these statements over here also. This will actually implement. What will happen? This will actually implement of 9 lines of code. But at the end of the day, one does not have to go through all the cases. So if it is ch is not equal to 0, it will not work. Right? It will ch is equal to 1, it will not work. But if ch is equal to 2, then that statement will work and then will come out. So if I actually basically put all my this set of lines just after each case. So this is as good as basically what you can see is basically if then else. If. Any question here?
Sir, I have one.
Yes.
Sir, so if we need to find the frequency of alphabets, then we will go like case A, case A, case B, case C till case Z.
Yes, my dear. Yes. So let's say, for example, I want to do that. So basically, n digits, in CAD. So there are 26 characters. So there are 26 characters. So I'll say that this is basically whether you are giving a small a or a capital A. Right? If it is a small a or a capital A, that I do not care about. So again, what I have to do is basically I have to so this is basically less than 26 in CAD. Okay, so if I want to have my CADs then, so this one will be case small a, case capital A, right? Then I will be having in CAD ch So I will be having either, so this one will be either how do I actually work with it? So I want to basically work with something like this. CH minus 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 A. Okay, let's say this is basically I give int basically int array value. So the my array value, they can be actually basically either okay, this, let's say this thing. I'll just then get into there is another operator that I have to use over here. Let's say I'll just go put into this thing. So this one will be also covered then. So ternary operator. Ternary operator. So this one will actually help us. So ternary operator looks something like this.
Sir, can you show the previous code just once again?
Yeah, please hold this. Previous code, yeah.
Thank you, sir.
If else, just hold a sec, please. Let's say something. Operator. Operator.
Sir, I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
Sir, in the line, sir, 26, I cannot like really understand what is happening there. Case small a, then case capital A, that one.
That I have not basically completed it. I'm just coming to that part.
Okay.
I'll just come to that part. Just want to check. I'm just going to verify something like this. Yeah. So my ternary operator looks something like this. Value. So I'll just give a basically. So if what happens is, so if some condition, right, then I'll be having some value, a variable var is equal to variable, right? Var equals to constant, say constant. else var, say this is constant 1 is equal to constant 2. So if you actually see this thing, see what is happening is that if some condition is basically satisfied, then this single variable var is being assigned, else var is assigned something else. So over here my if else condition actually works with a single variable var. So this can also be written as var equals to condition if it is true, then constant 1, else constant 2. So this is basically my ternary operator. So this is something like, this goes something like that. If so before this, so this is basically this goes something like this variable, right? So condition, something is condition is running, else do something, else do the other thing. So it can be a constant, or this can also have some expression also. So this can also be or this can, you can also do some expression also. So or var equals to expression 1 or else expression 2. So expression okay. Has everybody got this ternary operator? So we had worked with binary operators, unary operators with the plus plus minus minus. This is the last type of operators which we have, which is what we see as the binary operator, ternary operator. Okay, so this thing can be written right now like this as so something like that. If CH equivalent to E, then my int array value will be CH minus A, else it will be CH minus capital A. And my this one will be array value. Array value plus plus, and this one will be a break. Everybody has got this statement? Everybody has got the statement? Line number 26.
Sir, can you just explain again?
Huh. So repeat. Okay, I'll give all the versions then. I need to shortcut to versions. So I'll give all the versions. So B. So these are all equivalents. Okay, these are all equivalent. So int value if CH equivalent to B, right? If CH equivalent to B, then then array value equivalent to ch minus a, else array value ch minus a. ঠিক আছে, এবার বুঝতে পারছিস কি কি করেছি? Array value scope, the scope of this array value is only within these braces. Okay, so this is a temporary value. So once these braces are actually being completed, then this array value is no more accessed with. So if I want to basically access array value over here, so let's take for example array value. If I say array value plus plus, I'll show you what will happen. Also, let's say I'll show you what happens. So let's take for example array value is equal to 0. Okay, everybody, basically line number 26 and 27, these two are equivalent things. This thing so this thing is the same thing. So these 4 lines is the same thing which I have done over here. Sorry.
So 26 is the ternary operator one.
26, yeah, line number 26 is the ternary operator. So this is the if then else. So it looks something like this. So this thing is if the condition, if this is true, then expression 1 will be evaluated, else expression 2 will be evaluated. So something like this. So if condition, then var is expression 1, else var is. So you see that in both these if and else, my var is actually this keyword, this variable is actually this is not constant. This is the common link between this, in this whole if then else, this var is the common link. So this is basically written as var equals to the condition. If my condition is true, then expression 1 happens, else expression 2 is going to happen. Any question here? This can also be written as something like this also. I'll do it in a single line also. So case C, case capital C, I can write this something like in char ch equivalent to C then ch minus C, else ch minus capital C.
Sir, in case of case B, that will be CH minus B though. In case of case B?
Case B, yes. No, CH minus A, because A will be okay, small a, capital A key or just say 65 too. So small b will be 66. So 66 minus 65, that will be 1. So my nchar 1 will become plus plus.
Oh. Okay, sir.
Okay. So this whole thing can also be written something like
Yes, sir.
you see. So this whole stuff which I've seen, I've just basically written it in only one line. So this value, so my ncat, there will be some index over there, right? So my index will be what? So if my ch equivalent to capital small c, then my index value will be ch minus c, else it will be ch minus capital C. Sorry, my mistake. This will be small a, and this will be capital A. Sorry, my mistake. Yeah. So these are the three variations. These are the three variation of my if then else. So this whole stuff, this whole thing, which can be written in one line, it can be written like this also.
Sir,
Yes.
I think there will be an error because if ch in the first line itself, if ch is not equal to small a, let's suppose if it's small b, then it will do assign array value as ch minus capital A, which will give an erroneous value.
কোনটা বলতো? Which line?
Sir, in every line.
কেন বলতো?
So
No, I
ch
don't think that will happen. Karon, ch if it's b, then it will neither get in ch case a nor it will like small a or capital.
No.
exactly.
This,
It's going to
this
give
set
an
of lines,
erroneous value.
this set of lines will only work only this can, because after case A there are no statements, right? If I had given a break over here, then this one will not have this part would have not worked. But then since there are no breaks, immediately after case A, this one will also come up. My capital case A will also come up. After this case A, this set of lines will actually work.
Sir, if the character is b, then it will not get in that case in the first place, like case small or case
No,
capital.
the case B, it will come over here. If
Yes,
it is
yes,
a B, then it will come over here. If it is case A, this won't come over here at all. So it will come to case A, come to case B. So both these are becomes false. Case A, it is a false. Then this comes to case A. This is also false. So this will not work at all. They'll come to over here. So my CH becomes B. So what is this? This is actually equivalent to something like this. As I was saying, this is something like this. So if CH is equal to blank, so if this is becomes if CH is equal to small a, it's a false. So nothing will happen. It will just go to the next statement. Now, if I give a break, what is going to happen? Case, if I say, let's take for example over here, small, if your small CH is basically small, let's say CH is basically capital A, right? Or small a, then this will work, right? And it comes to break. Whenever it comes to break, it actually comes over here. So it actually basically it just does not do all the other stuffs. It just comes back over here. So the break statement brings the whole system out of the case study.
Sir, I have one question. Sir,
Yes.
In case blank space.
Yeah.
Sir, does array value equal to
Sorry,
0
my mistake. To actually show you what is going to happen. So this one will be a break. This is a mistake over here. Break. Yeah. I'll show you basically the scope of this variable. I'll tell you what is the basically, let's take for example, array value equals to 0. So let's say what actually happens over here. You'll see that there will be an error coming out in this line number 43. There will be an error coming out because this array value in this within these braces, but it is only defined over between these braces. The scope of the variable array value becomes only within this part. So that is one of the reason in each scope. If you in each part, I have to actually basically get into what do you say? If I have to basically initialize, make a new variable of array value. So let's say GCC. You see, there's an error over here. There is a problem over here in line number 36. So So you see what is the value? Error, array value undeclared first in the function. In case this thing. Right. So why is this so? Because the scope of this array value, even though I had actually defined the array value in my previous cases, in my previous cases, the scope of this array value is only within these braces. So just after this break is this thing, so the existence of array value does not exist. There is no existence of array value. So I have got something like this. So you have got a basically fully compilation. So this can be done with all the other cases.
So actually, if we do this in this method, then we have to write this case A, case B, case C up till case case Z 26 times.
Yeah.
So is there any other way?
No, for this.
Okay. Sir.
If you find out a way, tell me.
Sure, sir.
I won't ever tell you that there is. It's actually a false statement if I say that there is no way. Right. You can actually have a look whether if there is a way or not. So I'll just take A, B to C to this thing G till, right? So all other characters above G will be considered to be anothers. Okay, so I require to basically print the values also. So n less than, basically loop will be less than, loop will be just less than equal to G minus right. So G minus A will be, there will be some value, right? So small g and this thing is the same thing. So that actually helps me out.
Sir.
Yes.
Sir, in line number 43 and 44 are same.
In CAD. Line number?
So 43 and 44.
Oh, sorry. Acha, Jyoti, same, if there had been same thing, then what would have happened? Can you tell me what would have happened actually?
Sir, it would have been added twice, sir.
Never, it will never be added twice.
No, sir.
Because,
There is a break there.
No
Break
problem.
there.
Actually.
Once it
yeah,
breaks,
because
then
there is a break, this thing will not actually basically work. So immediately after, if my CH is small e or my capital E, then what will happen is that, sorry, this is a mistake. We cannot do that. G. Okay, so it will go for the first line. If my CH is basically small e or a capital E, it will work over here, it will do whatever stuff it is there, then we'll see a break, so it will actually come out. It will even not go to this next step. So in one way, if my CH is E, if you give the multiple statements or not, it does not matter. It's not going to work. Okay. But just for this thing, clarity sake, we can remove this part. So my A, B, C, D, E. Okay. So A, capital A, B, B, C, 1, 2, 3. Enter. Then my F, 2, 3. 120. Yeah. Let's see what happens. Of sorry, of percentage C is D. So this will not be loop. So loop plus capital A. Yeah, I believe so. This is all right. Let's see. So sorry, A, capital A, B, capital B, 1, 2, 3, 4, space, enter, C, capital C, 5, 6, 6, 6, space, control D. Yeah. So I have got four A's. There are 4 A's. My it's basically my capital and my small is considered the same, and this. Please check line number 757 what I have done. There are some shortcuts which I have actually used over here. Okay, there is very cryptic codes which I have written. For some it might not be possible. So I want you to basically, if you have got any right now, some things which I have actually done in a very shorter way. Anything?
So if we are
class
Konta?
57
57. Yeah. Okay, I was looking for that part. Okay. Okay, let's see. Loop is equal to 0, right? Now, what will happen? 0 plus capital A. What is the value of capital A? Since this thing is an arithmetic operator, the value of this capital A within a single quote will be a ASCII value. So the capital code of my capital A is 65. So 65 plus 0 is 65. The character format of this ASCII code will be given to me. So the character format given to. So if my integer value lies between 0 to 255, percentage C in a print statement will give me the corresponding ASCII value of that integer value. এটা একবার আমি এটা করে দিয়েছিলাম, যেটা if you remember this program which we had done. কোনটা গেল রে বাবু?
Sir, can you scroll up for a bit second?
Okay, let me come to one question. Yeah. Okay, who was the lady who was speaking? So, have you understood this part? Now, I'll just come to back to you. So this is basically G minus A. So my less than equal to G will be that, because my maximum character is G. So what is my G? G will be 65 plus কত value হবে বলে এটা? G হচ্ছে গিয়ে 70, 71, 72. So 72 minus 65. Right? 72 minus 65 will be কত হচ্ছে? 7. তাই তো? Work to 0 to 7. Now, since this is a minus thing, this is a minus which is actually a numeric operator, which works only on new numbers. So immediately what would happen is that my G, which is a character, its ASCII code will be the ASCII codes, the ASCII code of A, which is again an ASCII code, capital A, will be subtracted from ASCII code of G, which gives me an integer. So my loop will actually work then through an integer. And over here is the same thing. So since I wanted to, if I had given a small a, then this printing will have been given A, B, small a, B, C, D, E, F, G. Have you got it?
Yes, sir.
No, there was one lady who was actually, there was somebody else who was actually saying.
Yes, sir.
They've got it. Okay. Somebody was looking for the scroll up. Okay.
Sir,
Done.
you said that if we can just sort in this code, so I think that if we are handling the alphabets and the letters separately, then we can make it short by just the statement n char and ch minus a plus plus. So we don't need any switch
minus
case.
a.
Yes, so if we consider two separate arrays for small letters and capital letters, then we can do the same thing we did for digits.
Yeah,
No,
yes,
I'm,
yes, yes.
I'm,
I
no,
agree to. I agree to.
no, no,
I agree to.
no, sir. I'm
Yes.
saying that we can remove switch case totally. Because if we do this for
No, I
only
don't want
for
to. I don't want to remove the switch case. I know that switch case, if you remove that, code becomes much more simpler, right?
Yeah.
But my objective of this of this whole thing is basically to actually show you how your switch case actually works. I know that if I remove the switch cases, my code becomes much more simpler. Yes, I agree to it.
Okay, sir.
I agree to it. Actually, rather, this problem statement which we had frequency part. Where is the frequency dot c? Char count, I believe so. I think this was the one, right? Like the frequency digits. Let's see this thing. Yeah, see. So, for my character, if I had done for a character, if I had basically given a character, f characters over here, this statement just changing from greater than small a or greater than less than equal to small z, you would have done the whole simple stuff at that time. Just changing these statements a little bit, right, with respect to my character, then it would have become much more easier. But then my objective was to basically work with my switch cases. Okay. Mind it, for my statements, these two has to be there. But it's not that but if you are basically if statement, if you are working with this if statement, so if you remember, if you believe that okay, if I give a semicolon over here, something will not, it will give an error. So these two are compulsory. You must be doing something with my var. So if my var, if it is a true, then you have to do something. Else you have to do something. You have to do something. It's not that it's not optional. Expression 1 or expression 2 is not optional. These are compulsory. Okay, this thing, I had given something like this part. Right. So this one is basically not possible with ternary operator. Right. It's not possible. This is not possible to actually achieve with a ternary operator. A ternary operator you cannot do it only with this. Yeah.
Sir, can I write multiple expression in the ternary operator?
Yes, you can do it. My expression can be again basically a ternary operator. My expression can also be a ternary operator. My expression can also be a ternary operator. Any question here? Any question? দেখ either ওটা অনুভব there was something. Okay, code blocks. Okay, good. Okay, code blocks. So you are looking for a code blocks. Okay. If you are interested for working this thing if you are in this part, you can work. Is there code light is also there. Eclipse also you can use. Eclipse is a very standard IDE, right? But unfortunately for that thing, Eclipse by default it works for Java. But then if you want to work with this thing, if you want to work with the C or C++, then you have to include the C plugin also over there. Then it works. Okay. And the most standard one is basically if you work with basically Qt, you can work with Qt. Qt is a very good one. It's a very good, it's a very IDE which is used in the industry also. Okay. So since there are no questions, are you sure there are no questions? Oh,
yes, sir.
Okay, then let's get to something different. Okay, my main objective right now, my objective is basically swap two numbers, right? Float or integer using functions, right? So I'll have to make a function like something like that. I will look one something like that. So void swap. I'll be taking in two numbers. So int a, int b, right? And the thing will be that basically, so let's say for example true int, right? So this swaps the two numbers a and b, which should be reflected in the main function. It returns true if successful. Rather, let's say I don't want to return anything. So what the hell? I don't want to return anything. I don't want to return anything. Right. Okay, so I have got, say, int a, so int num1, num2. So this one will be num1, say this is 1, this is 2. So okay, mathematically you can do something like that. Basically, I can have, there is a method of basically just working with subtractions, addition and subtraction. There is a method of working with addition and subtraction, but that is not possible with actually floats. So if I give a, let's say just for argument's sake, 1.5, 2.5. So printf.
Sir, will we have to make another function with like float arguments? Like we made a void.
Oh, sorry. This will be a float. Thank you. Percentage a equals to percentage f, and b equals to percentage f. Right. Sorry, num1, num2, num1, comma num2 there. Then I call my function swap num1, comma num, and my value should be basically swapped with that. Right. So I have gotten /n /n. Okay, everybody is clear about this problem? This function which I have, this statement which I have done, everybody is clear about it?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Anybody who is not clear? Rather let's phrase my questions nowadays in something like that. Who is not clear? Okay, so let's run it. So this is GCC, and my program name is swap. What is happening? Oh, sorry. I'm not written the function only. Swap void swap, so float a float.
Sir, your function is already declared up. So the function is already declared up.
But the signature is defined, but the body has not been yet defined. That is what I'm doing. Right? The body is not defined. So float, I click on temp variable. So I'll be having like temp is equal to a. Then my a is equal to my b. Then my a equals to my b equals to my temp. Right?
Sir, the signature of the function, is it necessary to write in every program, or can we directly write the function above?
Yeah, you can directly write the function above.
Okay, sir.
You can always.
No, sir, it gives an error when we run the program. We have to give it at the first.
Which one?
Like if we don't declare the function signature.
No. This only occurs if we don't give a function signature or the function before the main where we are calling it.
Yeah.
So let's take, for example, if I do this thing, okay. If I do this thing, that means it's something like when in mathematics, what you're doing. So function of f is basically calls to a h. So until unless you do not know what g and h is there, how will basically f know what to call?
Yes, sir.
The signature is not enough. I have to basically define what the function does. So if I actually do this, you will see that there will be a problem. Right. So what you can do is basically you can put the signature, or there is other way out is just do it before beginning only. So over here, what is happening? The signature and the function is at the same time. The signature and the function is written at the same time. Okay.
Sir, the last change which you did, can you just explain again, like why we can't keep that void swap below the main function?
No, I'm not saying that you cannot give the void function void say before and after this thing. But let's say, for example, you are working something like a is equal to function of g h y. Right. So technically, f has to know what g and h is, something like that, right? So what you have to do, you have to beginning of how you're defining a function, you have to tell what my g is basically. So I have to give what my gx equals to and what my hy looks like. Right. So if I give my G and H before after my A, after my calling of my F, it does not. What is something like you're going blindfold. You are calling for a function, but he does not know what the function is because the function is defined afterwards. He cannot go afterwards. He cannot go. He cannot do something. He cannot look for money. He cannot look in the future. He has to have some reference in the past. So that is why this thing. So either you can give the signature. So this is the signature. So either you can give the signature, define the body later, or you can define the body and the signature before the main. Main, there should be a mention of the function which I'm going to call. That is one of the reason is that this printf, before printfs and before them scanfs and before my getchar or my putchar, my header file has to be included. Why? Because all these functions, the printf, scanf, and my getchar, putchar, whatever all these functions are there, the definitions of all these functions, how this function works, they are all included in my header files. Okay.
Sir, can't we do that printf once, like 20 and 23 two times printf functions we have given? So like only if we give in the swap, it can't happen.
Come again?
Like we have given at line number 20 printf function and again in 23. So if we do it once, like only in swap.
No, the main reason of this 20 line number 20 and 23 is to see the effect before swap. What is there in num1 and num2, and after swap what happens with number. This that I want to show you something that after this function how it works. You will see something. You will see it actually does not work. You will see. The main reason is that it will not work.
Because the function is not returning any value.
Why not? I'm swapping the number inside the swap function.
Sir, does the variable have global scope, sir, A and B? In that case, like A and B will be changed. When we print it later, it will become changed and the print.
No, there are no global variables. There are no global variables over here. They are all local variables. They are all local variables. Okay. So actually, even if I do it within this thing, there is no change. So I play the game in a different way. Now what I'm going to do, what happens is, let's see what happens over here. Whenever I'm calling num1 and num2, swap num1, num2, what is happening is that the value of num1 is being copied into the value of A, into the variable A, and the value of num2 is being copied into variable B. So in swap, whatever is happening is only happening with A and B. Nothing is happening with num1 and num2, because it's the A and B but it's basically just contains the copy of the values. It's just a copy. So this is basically what we say as a call by name. This is the call by name.
Sir? Sir?
Yes.
Sir, if this is an example of call by name, or sir, can this be called as call by reference?
That is not what we say as a call by reference. The next one, what I'll basically what we say as a call by value.
Yeah. So this is not a call by value?
No, this is not by call by value. This is by call by name. Just see. Sorry, you can see, sorry, it's basically call by value. Sorry, my mistake. Yes, the one which we're working with is call by reference. So call by reference, how it works? I'll be passing the reference of that variable. What does the reference means? All variables has a memory location in your system, right? In your memory location, that is basically in a random access memory, but that is a primary memory, what we say as. Your secondary memory being the hard disk. Okay, so in a primary memory, or the storage is basically said to be just the storage you can see is basically your secondary memory. So your primary memory, which will be which is the memory in which your whole system is working with, right? So as large as your memory, so as many, so that is one of the reasons all these machines which have got now, so 4 GB machine, 4 GB RAM, what does it mean? So that's your primary memory, right? So any program, when it works, the whole thing actually is being executed. It's being basically transferred to your primary memory. So whenever I'm calling my a.out, what is happening? The compiled program and the machine language program, the compiled. Any questions? So this whole program is being basically passed. Yes. Hello.
Sorry, sir. I got unmute.
Okay. So this whole program is being loaded into your primary memory and then it works. So whenever this whole program is being loaded, what comes with the loaded program is that basically these functionalities and all these variables. So all these variables will be given a place in your primary memory. Whenever the place is given, along with it comes an address, location of that memory, address of in that primary memory. What I'm going to do, I'm going to pass the address. I'm going to call upon the address. Based on this address, I'm going to change the values of that data. So in what way, the difference in this very simple way is something like this, is that this is in a call my name. Let's take, for example, you are saying that you want to basically pass, you want to pass a letter to a friend. Okay, so there are two ways of passing a letter to a friend. And what it does, basically, your friend basically changes some data in your letter, and he sends back to you. So in the call by name, what is happening is that, so you write a letter, right? You go to a messenger, give him a copy of your letter, and that messenger goes to your friend. Your friend makes some changes in that copy of, and it basically gives back to the messenger. So right now, whatever data, what happens is the letter which you have got is not the exact changed letter which your friend has given to you, because your friend has actually changed the letter in the copy. So that is basically what is called by value. Now let's take another. Basically another scenario. You write a letter, you go to your friend directly, right? So when you go to your friend directly, so your letter is your data. You are the location. Your friend writes into your letter. That means your location. That means your friend can actually write into your location. And thus, in one way, what is actually happening, you get the changed letter directly. You get the changed letter directly. So this is the difference between a call by value and a call by reference. So when I'm going to give a call by void, swap, call by ref, I am going to pass the pointer to the location. pointer to the location of your data. And when I'm going to run it, when I'm going to basically call your function, I am going to pass the address of your values, of your variables. So I'm going to pass the address of your variables, and it is going to catch your function. In the function is going to catch it as a pointer. This pointer is actually again a pointer type variable. So I have got two types of variables. Number one, a variable which is actually contains only a value, and a pointer type of variable which basically is denoted by a star some variable name. Then that variable contain the value of the location of that variable. So over here, so float pointer temp.
Sir, one question.
Yes.
Sir, is this like this keyword of Java?
I'm not interested. Any other question? I'm not going to answer your question for this part. Any other question related to this thing?
Sir, is this star a keyword?
No, the star is basically a variable. Whenever I want to basically define a variable which contains the address of a location, then that will be basically defined as a pointer type. A pointer, that is a star. A pointer will be referred to as also as a star. So float star temp means temp is a variable which is a pointer to a location which contains a float data. Please note what I'm again saying. Pointer temp means the temp contains the address of the location of something which contains a float data.
So how is it different from the ampersand?
The ampersand is basically change. It is basically the address of the variable. So address of the variable. So you as a person have got an address. So let's take, for example, whenever you want to search somebody's house, right? So you go to unknown place, right? You go to an unknown place. Now you have got an address of yours. You have got an address. Now, but you do not know how to basically look for that address. So what is the best way? You go to basically the local, somebody in the local, so preferably a panwala or a laundry wala, right? So you show him the address and you ask him, where is this address? So he will point it to your house. So your panwala or your laundry wala is a pointer type variable who points to the location of that address. But what is the address? That you have got it to that person.
Okay, sir.
So it's another variable which contains the location of the address, location of the variable.
So can you please just say why call by value is not working?
Call by value is not working. The only reason is that whenever what I'm doing. So now whenever I'm calling call by name, that swap function call by name with num1 and num2, what is happening? The value of A is being copied into A. The value of num1 is being copied into the variable A. So a copy is being given. And the variable and the value of num2 is being copied into variable B. Right. So a copy is given. So whatever operations I am doing over here, I'm actually doing it with only a copy.
So to retrieve that information from A and B, we have to use call by reference.
but to actually work around, since it is with so my objective is what? My objective is basically to reflect the swapped value in my main function,
Yes, sir.
in the function which calls that swap function, swap function, right? But whenever I'm calling by giving a call by a name, what is happening is only the this is being, yes, this is being basically, if you actually basically, if I'll tell you printf,
Sir,
okay, just hold a sec. Printf, yes, go ahead.
sir, if instead of pointer temp we give simple temp, then it will work the same or any difference will come?
Come again?
Sir, if in case of pointer temp we are writing simply float temp, will there be any difference? And we are doing the same algorithm, means same calculation we are doing.
I did not get it. Come again.
Sir, if in case of pointer temp we are when it means initializing as float temp only, and we are doing the same calculations, will there be any difference?
Float
Pointer
temp.
and pointer we have kept, but inside we have given only float temp.
Yeah, no. Okay, but this thing I was about to say, whenever I say a float value pointer temp, this is actually, what is this? Note this thing. What is this? This is, it means that, what is the meaning of this line? What is the meaning of this line? This means that pointer temp contains the address of a location has got a float value. I can only exchange your addresses.
Sir, one question, sir. Can you just explain like how the like value is being sent in the call by reference? Because that part I cannot like clearly understand. सर की क्लास है नहीं
सर लिव कर लो
ভাই কল বাই রেফারেন্সটা কেউ বুঝেছিস একটু বল না
আরে স্যার ডিসকানেক্টেড হয়ে গেছে চলে আসবে রেকর্ডিং চলছে থাম
স্যার এসেছে?
না।
আর তো মনে হয় 10 মিনিট বাকি আছে নাকি?
হ্যাঁ সেটাই তো, স্যারকে কমপ্লিট করে দিতে বল আজ। আর কি করবে, 10 মিনিট তো খালি।
আর স্যার বোধহয় নেটের সমস্যা হচ্ছে, স্যার এর জন্য লাইক
কিন্তু রেকর্ডিং তো চালু আছে না?
স্যার আপনি মিউট আছেন স্যার।
So your voice is not audible.
Sorry. Yeah.
Sir, one question can I ask?
Yeah.
Sir, I could not understand, sir, how the value is being sent through the star.
The value is not being sent. Okay. So let's say this thing. What does basically, let's say this thing. The value is not, but the address location is being sent. address location is being set. So if you actually say printf, if I want to, the data type of this thing is basically percentage f. If you actually want to print percentage f, value of a equals to percentage f, comma, b equals to percentage f, pointer of a, pointer of b.
So that means, sir, when we will be editing the values inside the function, we will directly be editing the value of the address only.
No, you will be directly editing the basically you are directly editing the data in that location itself.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Okay.
It's something like, okay, it's a very crudely way of saying, let's take for example, you want to beat one of your friends. Okay, so there are two ways. Number one, you send one of your friends, you send another one of your friends to your friends, to one of the goons to your friend's place. Okay, beat him up, make the goon beat him up. Okay, Gunda beat him up, but then you are not satisfied yourself because you have not done the work yourself. So this part is basically, you go to your friend's place, you beat him up yourself, so you get the satisfaction. So this is the thing. So you go to the address of your house, address of your friend, right? And you beat him up physically. So why? Because you have got the address of your friend. Okay. So let's say you want to actually print this. You will see that this one will give me something like. Okay, so this is a pointer value. So the value of this thing is being passed. But if I want to print the value of A and B, you won't be able to get this thing. So there will be an error. Why? Because this contains the location. What is the location? The location has got a double. This is of the double type. So I will be giving this basically a long int type. So this is basically LD. Okay, let's see this one. Let's go for this. This one will go off num1, num2, and version of num1, num2. Let's see.
If we define num1, num2 globally, then so it will become easier.
Yes.
If we define num1, num2 globally, means outside main, then so it will be easier to pass the value.
No, well, I do not want to basically pass the values of what do you think? I'm not interested in passing the values of this thing. I don't want to make it as a global variable, because making a global variable will have its after effects. So let's take for example, but this is one function, right? Somebody can, you can have, as I was saying, you can have 10 functions. So how that global variable changes, you'll not be able to keep a track of it. Keeping a variables which you can change as a global variable as a global variable is not very much advised in programming. Rather, it is very advised that if you want to keep global variables, keep them as constants or macros. That is all right. Right, but it is never advisable to actually have this thing, but have what do you say, have you have variables as global variables. It is not a it is not a good programming practice.
Okay, sir.
It is not a good programming practice. Okay. Okay. So you can see the values of this. This is the location. This is the address location. It's basically a long int type. It's actually a long int type. So that is why you have this large number. So all memory locations have got an address. This, what I'm actually telling you, this is the strongest part of C and C++. C++ also has got this feature, but with C, this is the strongest feature. That is, one can access the memory location of a system. This is by saying this is one of the most dangerous and this is one of the most beautiful features of C programming languages. You can access location. One can access the memory location of your so in one way this thing what is happening is that by the way, this is being recorded. Yeah. So in one way, what is happening is that since you can access your memory location, C is also said to be not only as a high level language, this is also said to be as a middle level language. C is, there are three types of languages. Middle level language, one is a high level language, right? The low level language is basically a machine language. Assembly codings, right? Assemblers, assembly 8085 programming. When you will come to that microprocessor programming, then the machine code languages. These are what we say to be as a low level programming, because these programs are directly loaded into. These programs are actually directly loaded in as codes in your memory location. High level languages are something which works in a very high level, which does not have too much access of the memory locations. Even if it has got a memory even if you have got a access to a memory location, you are not aware of it, how it is being done. You will not be aware of it, how it will be done. But in C or C++, since this is being a middle level language, you can actually basically see and you can actually access all your memory locations using these pointers and this flow pointer types and ampersand types data types, passing of addresses and working with pointers. Okay. So whenever I'm going to pass a ampersand over here, ampersand, so in line number 39, what is happening? The address of num1, that is this value, sorry, this value is being passed into this function, but then in integer. So whenever I'm calling a pointer, so it goes to that location. It goes to that location, that is goes to this location, and A has captured the value of that location. So in one way, one can say that A is equivalent to pointer of ampersand of ampersand. So right now what happens is that A is no more copy of the value of num. A is itself num. A is no more a copy of, so the address of the location is being basically passed, which is captured by a pointer. So pointer of an address is actually that location, that value itself. So A itself is right now num. As in this program, as in my call by name, A was a copy of my num. Over here, A itself is basically num. Any questions?
Sir, can I just show the output for once?
Yeah. So this is this thing. This is the location address of num1. This is the location of address of num2. So this is basically this part, right? This is after this line is of in call in line number 36. This is line number 38, and this is basically line number 41.
Okay, sir.
Anybody who could not understand?
Sir, pointer of A stores the value of A. Means I didn't.
Pointer of A is the value of num1. Is the value of num1. It is not a copy. Is the value of num1. That means I have gone to your house and I am occupying it now, right now, basically. So something like basically when you have got an address, you go to your friend's house and you shift over there, then what will be your address be? That means your address will be as the same address of your basically friends, and you will be basically, you can also basically work up, and you can by default you can work as something like your friend.
Sir, that means like call by value is like, suppose we have a Word document and we are copying the text of that Word document and sending it. And call by reference is like linking the same Word document to the person that you want to
Yes. Very in a naive way, yes, you can say something like that. In a very naive way, you can say something like that.
Sir, if we print A and star A, pointer of A consecutively in that swap call by reference function, what will it print actually?
Okay, let's see what will it actually print.
তো এটা তো চেঞ্জ ভ্যালুটা দেখাবে তো
দেখা যাক কি দেখায় কি করে বলবো কি দেখাবে okay these are basically okay you are actually basically pointer, so this is basically pointer. Okay, this is the problem with this part.
Okay, so understood.
Okay. Any question?
No, sir.
Next day we will basically get into working with arrays, okay, pointers and this stuffs. So one must be actually very much clear about this thing. If you are more interested, you can basically this program is also in the book of the this Cunningham-Ritchie. The swap function is a very common function actually. It's been given this thing in Cunningham-Ritchie also. You can basically see for this thing, see for this function. Okay. Okay, then let's see. We'll basically move on.